If you are here for the free hypnosis session with Joymind Hypnotherapy, you are in the right place. Welcome in. I think we're waiting for more people to sign on. Maybe you're in the middle of your workday, or you're at the end of your Monday. This is a great space just to relax, unwind. I actually quite love these sessions on a Monday because this is probably when your energy is the most tense. And this is a really good place just to calm down, take a breath, and actually start to think from a clear mind. So before we really get into our session, while we're still waiting, I would love if you could just enter into the chat, say your name, hello, where you're maybe joining from, and why are you here today? So what are you hoping to walk away with from today's session? And so we read every single one of these comments in the chat. Anastasia is actually reading through every comment that goes through this chat so that we can answer these questions directly at the end. So we have a Q&A portion towards the end of today's call, but also in general, Rochelle will be able to curate her hypnosis to be more tailored to what we're looking for today. So if you're here for some quiet, if you're here for some clarity, if you want to release guilt, shame, anger, write that in. And then we'll make sure that today's focus is exactly what this very group needs. And I'm sure as you're writing in, thank you, Susan. I see weight loss, stress. There's probably a ton of other people in the chat who are feeling quite similar. So, you might feel like I'm the only one that needs to get this today, but you're speaking up for a lot of others when you do that. So, and if you're not writing in the chat, maybe you comment on somebody else's response and say, yes, Darcy, I'm also looking for a career change. Well, not me, but Ken wants better confidence, weight loss. Yes, this is really good. Thank you, Joe. Learning more about different techniques and practicing hypnosis. Yeah, you'll get a little feeler for that today. Dawn wants to learn to see how this may help me. Yeah, just curiosity. That's also completely welcome. If you have no idea what you're getting yourself into, that's okay. We're about to go into all of that today. So thank you guys. So before we get into what we're about to do, I want to just start with something that might or might not surprise you. You have already been hypnotized today. That is a fact. So if you found us through social media, there was probably scrolling that maybe you were doom scrolling, maybe it was late night and you were anxiously, unable to fall back asleep. That's a version of hypnosis. If you listen to music, get lost in a song, you feel like you're right back to your high school prom or your first kiss, or a special day with your best friend, you can remember feelings. That is a stage of hypnosis. If you're watching a movie and you're in there and it's like, I know these characters aren't real. I know this zombie isn't really going to come for me, but your heart rate is starting to rise. That's a form of hypnosis. And then one that probably happens to just about any one of us is if you are maybe commuting home and your brain is thinking, okay, I got to take the chicken out when I get there. I got to let the dog out. You're like running through your list of things to do, but you're somehow still driving and then you miss your exit. This is because you're under a hypnotic state. So this is a very natural state of your brain. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in today's session. So we will start out with a little bit of that. What is hypnosis? What is it not? For hypnosis to actually work, you have to feel safe and calm. So we want to get some of the scary stuff out of the way so that you can trust this process. Then Rochelle's going to guide us in a little bit of hypnosis. So it's going to be more of a generalized hypnosis session. This isn't going to be something that you're going to experience in your one-on-one session with your personalized match. This will be more of a group space for us to relax and enjoy. And then the Q&A. So a lot of what you've shared here, the attachment styles, the past trauma, health issues, we're going to address those more specifically. So if while we're talking, a question pops up, don't feel like you have to wait for the Q&A. You can go ahead and put it in the chat right now. And like I said, Anastasia is going through that. She'll mark those questions so that we can make sure to get them at the end and we don't miss you. Okay, so I'm going to introduce one of our founders, Rochelle Cook. She has been practicing hypnotherapy for close to 2 decades now, and she's not just a founder, but she's an actual practitioner. So she has a full calendar of clients that she's seeing. A lot of her work is around relationships and trauma. That is truly where she's the expert. And she's a published author, specifically around relationships. So you'll find when you work with Rochelle, and really in general, when you start doing hypnotherapy, that everything comes back to childhood trauma and relationships. We adults become what we learned as children. And that is Rochelle's line. She knows it to be true after working with thousands of people. So I'll have her introduce herself a little bit and share more about how Joymind came to be.
So hello, everybody, and thank you. And Joymind came to be, I had my practice for a while, and I always wanted to help more people. And I know, because I've studied a lot of different things, that hypnotherapy can often be the first step, not the second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever it's going to be. So we decided, there's three of us, three founders, to take hypnotherapy out into the world. And we decided that we wanted to make sure that people knew that hypnotherapy existed and it's a safe modality and it's quite successful. And now I'm very, very, very proud to say that with Halai's help, who runs all of us, that we are the largest platform for hypnotherapy in the country. And what I really love is that everyone that works with this company, and there are many of them, they need a heart. They need to care. They need to know that they're going to help, because there's a very specific culture that this company has created, Halai's created, and your heart has to be in the right place, because that's what this is about. So, I'm just really grateful that we got to, and are still continuing to, bring hypnotherapy out to the masses, and we can help a lot of people find peace.
Right. So, like Rochelle said, we are the leading hypnotherapy platform in the United States. So, over 40,000 sessions have already been delivered, and 95% of clients who complete their program, at the end, they're saying they are seeing real improvement. And my favorite part about this is that it's not just, okay, I think I feel better, or maybe I'm not panicking anymore. But the best part is when the people around them, when their friends, their spouse, their coworkers are like, I don't know what it is, but you just feel different. You seem different. And that's the best part about hypnotherapy, is that you walk differently, you talk differently, you think, you react. All these subtle parts of you really start to change so much that the outer world, the way that people treat you, the opportunities that come, the money that flows your way, really starts to change. And that's why we have such great success. That's why over 1,000 people have reported 5-star reviews, because they're just having so much more than just a feel good in the moment. They're seeing remarkable external results, and a lot faster than other modalities, because we're working with the subconscious mind. So really exciting to be seeing these results. And this past year, so in 2026, we were named in Inc. 5000. So in the top 5,000 fastest growing companies in the US, and number 94 specifically in health and medical companies. So this is really exciting. We're moving fast, and it has a lot to do with the trust that all of our clients have in us, and the quality of practitioners that we work with, because it really is something we're very proud of. So these are just some reviews. You can take a look into our Google review page just to get a feel for what other clients are saying. What I like most about this is that you can start to feel a little bit of yourself in this. You might be the person who has tried a million things and spent all this money on weight loss, on diet pills, on nutritionists, on a personal trainer, and nothing worked. So a lot of people, and like Rochelle said, have tried so many things before they came to hypnotherapy. So I encourage you to not let this be the last thing that you do. Don't waste thousands of dollars and years of your life trying everything else without understanding the subconscious mind at a core level. So what does hypnotherapy help with? Rochelle, I know this is a really, really big question, but if you could give us a little bit of a rundown on how broad hypnotherapy really can be.
So hypnotherapy can help you with pretty much anything you're suffering from. So we have like stress and anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia, which comes because you can't turn off the mind. It starts catastrophizing, or sometimes it just thinks, right? Um, Public speaking, which is the number one fear, which, oh, we can help you with that one too. Relationships is, what, did one just end? Or are you thinking you can't get one? Are you in one that's not great? Are you repeating patterns you learned in childhood? We adults become what we learned as child, including seeking those that treat you the way you were taught relationships are supposed to be like, or that you're not good enough. So you're going to attract someone that doesn't treat you like you're good enough. Guess what? I'm not good enough. So I'm going to attract somebody that doesn't treat me like I'm good enough. I'm not worthy and deserving. Not true. Weight, that's that old yo-yo dieting thing. You're going to go back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, and just keep gaining and losing and gaining and losing. Is very bad for your body until you teach the subconscious that you don't want to do what you're doing that's allowing you to put on weight. And the subconscious rules your life, so be careful. Vaping and smoking, hypnotherapy is known to stop vaping and smoking because we have to teach the subconscious that rules your life that you don't want to smoke, you don't want to vape. And I can think of all kinds of reasons. Back to anxiety. Anxiety thinks she's just keeping you safe, or he's just keeping you safe. It's a learned behavior. It's a pattern. So hypnotherapy is going to teach your subconscious mind that you are safe, right? Any kind of trauma, loss, fear and phobia, driving a car, spiders. Again, there's the speaking in public, any kind of fear and phobia. We have to teach the subconscious mind that the bridge is safe and you can run across it. We have to teach the subconscious mind that it's okay to drive again, right? Mindset, what's holding you back? You want to move forward in your life. Well, why aren't you? Well, we're going to tell you that. And then we're going to tell the subconscious mind that it doesn't need to hold you back because everything is fine. And I just want to say, the fear and phobia thing, I actually worked with one of our hypnotherapists because of something that happened to me a long time ago with my brain. I'm fine, but I didn't drive for a long time and I was afraid to drive on the freeway. And it's ridiculous. I'm 63 years old. There's no reason for me to be afraid to drive on the freeway. If I can drive on the streets, I can drive on the freeway, right? And mine's is a what happened with my brain for brain surgery. So there is a thing to it, but I'm totally fine to drive. Yesterday I drove on the freeway. I drove on the freeway yesterday. Yes.
Wow, I
And
didn't
I
know
am,
that. That's a big one.
yeah, I did. And this has been going on, guys, for like 13 years. And I really love hypnotherapy because, of course, I can drive. I know how, but something happens and it prevents you from something. It prevented me from driving because of what happened. And of course, you're going to get back on the road. And it's just, there's a lot going on there. So hypnotherapy goes in and it reprogrammed my mind to say, nope, this is ridiculous. You're totally fine. Get out on the road. Because when my daughter moves away someday and she has her children, I want to go see her. I don't want to be afraid to get on the freeway to go see my child. Hypnotherapy. I know it works because I do it, right? Sleeping. I sleep now. And believe me, I don't really have these issues because I have a pretty strong mind. But sometimes things can happen because we're all human. So all these things, biting your nails, we can help you. That's why you call us, which doesn't cost money, so that you can actually say, can you help me with this? And talk to the person, and they're going to tell you, most likely, yes, we can help you and what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you work with Joymind, you have a very personalized program. So you have one-on-one sessions. You're going to get matched with a specialist who directly understands what it is that you need. So not just your goals, but also a personality match. The program is laid out. So the first month is a lot of just clearing out the baggage. You can spend decades of your life stuck, frozen, probably this way. So we got to get your nervous system down regulated. Month 2, you're really starting to decide, like, who's it that I want to be? What do I not like about my life? Who are the people that are potentially hurting me that I maybe need to get rid of or change and stand up for myself, hold my boundaries, speak up? And then month 3, that's really the best part. Around 8 to 12 sessions in, that's when your outer world starts to really change. The people around you notice the difference. The opportunities that come your way start to look different. You walk different. You look different. Your confidence is very different. So it takes some time to undo, but for sure, once you hit that 3rd month, that's all it takes. The 3rd month is when the outer world looks very, very different. So that's a little bit of how the process works, and you always get a recording. So you get the practice in the session. Then when you get home, you can, or when you get to bed that night, you can re-listen to that recording. You can do it every day if you want to maximize and expedite your results. But it works really well, even if you just show up to your sessions. But the more that you listen, the stronger and faster you're going to get past what it is that you're going through. So I will leave this booking link here. That's just going to be available throughout today's session. And if you're ready to book your consultation, essentially, like Rochelle said, this is completely free. You're going to chat directly with a program expert who is going to understand what you're going through, how many sessions you actually need, and help you find a plan that's realistic for your budget. Okay, so I'll leave this available for you all here. We're still going to answer some questions, go into hypnosis in a sec. But if while we're talking, you're feeling like I have some more personal questions, I want to know how this is going to help me in particular, will it work for me? You can definitely book that consult and they'll give you some more answers. But now let's talk about some science in the most basic way that we can understand, the iceberg analogy. So this is probably a pretty trademark conscious and subconscious image, Rochelle.
I know, I love this one. I think it's so great. So the 12% is where your logic, rational, and willpower live, your reasoning live, right? That's where we see the yo-yo dieting. I'm going to go to the gym and I never go. I think I'm not good enough. And I know I'm not good enough, apparently. I'm afraid to drive, blah, blah, blah. And the problem is that at that conscious level, you can make a decision, but it's hard to follow through, right? It's hard to follow through. The subconscious is where the inner child lives, your limiting beliefs, emotional patterns, old habits, automatic responses. The subconscious rules your life, which is why you can drive, use a knife and fork, talk, walk, maybe run. The subconscious remembers how to do it. And if I'm not mistaken, I bet you that when you go to open the front door of your house, you don't have to think about where do I live and how do I put the key in to open up the door? Because you just do it. The subconscious, oh, trust me, the subconscious rules your life. Like, afraid to drive. No, I'm not. I'm gonna drive all over the place. You're gonna go do all these things you want to do. You're gonna go live your life and be happy, because we're gonna teach that subconscious mind that if you can see it, you can be it. Belief edits experience. Your outer reality is a perception of your inner reality. So be careful what you focus on. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow that subconscious mind to focus on what it is you do want. And what we do, because we're working with that 88%, is we're building new neural pathways. So the old ones are there. Wow, we don't need those. We're building new ones that are telling you you can do all these things that you want to do. And that if it comes from your past, which most of the time it does, you are not your past. It does not dictate how you feel now. You are not a puppet of your past. You live in the here and now, and you can do what you want to do. That we have to reprogram, change the perception of the subconscious mind. And that's when all that's going to happen.
Right. So this is like a very, very standard part of the brain. So if this is new information for you, that's okay. But just so you know, hypnosis and the subconscious mind has been studied for close to 200 years. So this is nothing new. Modern neuroscience is continuing to discover how much the subconscious mind is affecting our life, but also what you see here is a neuroplasticity. So your brain is very changeable if you work with it the right way. That's why a lot of people on here are saying that they're having struggles with motivation or procrastination or weight loss. I want to do it. I know I should do it, but I can't. Is just working with the wrong part of the brain. And so once you are able to get into that hypnotic state, put the suggestions that you want, tell your brain, no, we want this. We want to get better. I am confident. I am worthy. I am deserving. then you start to see that the
Right.
habits follow.
And it's
So
very
yeah, there's
natural
research.
and very subtle. Like all of a sudden you just start doing it. And sometimes you don't realize it till your hypnotherapist says, "So, how is such and such going?" And you're like, "Oh my goodness, it's going really well." Or like how I said earlier, somebody tells you, "Wow, you've really changed." It's very subtle. It's not like a aggressive form of abuse.
Yeah.
It's very natural and very comfortable, and all you're doing is relaxing. It's just a heightened state of awareness. So it's actually quite enjoyable to just go ahead and listen to somebody tell you what you need to hear because it's what you want. It's fantastic.
Exactly. You get to relax and allow it to happen. You don't need to work in the process. That's what's quite nice. And
Oh,
like
we do all
Rochelle
the work.
said, it is natural. So, like I said earlier, you've already been hypnotized today, but it's because of a brain state. It's a natural brain state. So, this morning when you woke up and every night as you're falling asleep, that feeling when you're almost asleep or barely waking up, that is a hypnotic state where your mind is like, oh, I'm not ready to get out of bed yet. You're still kind of in dreamland a little bit. You know that feeling. It's actually so nice. And oftentimes you don't want to get back up and get into the real world and face your day. That's actually what a lot of people feel like when they get out of their hypnosis. They're like, oh, now I gotta get back to work, or go take the kids out, or do life again. But when you're in the hypnotic state, it is so enjoyable. And so this is what's
So nice.
happening. And we will recommend, your hypnotherapist will typically tell you to listen to your recording again at night. So that's really going to help you see the maximum benefit. Really, anytime is helpful, but at night, it's almost like your brain is a sponge. It's already open. So if you want to be, work smarter, not harder, it's going to be listening to that recording again in the evening.
And you
or
go to sleep with that, right? If you sleep with those thoughts in your mind, that can go into dreamland, right? It's how you go to bed at night. If you go to bed thinking about things that aren't good, don't ever watch the news before you go to bed. My rule is no news and don't talk about money before you go to bed, because I'm not putting that into my world when I sleep. So this is all positive, beautiful stuff that you go to sleep with. And then you notice when you wake up, you feel better because that's been put in your head.
Exactly. Yeah, you have full control, but you got to make the right decisions in order to take back control of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one is a really important one because I think majority of people, and I think about half of our participants today have not done hypnosis. Actually, more than half. I see about 35% of people have done some form of hypnotherapy, but it is not like what you've seen in the movies. There's a lot of things that people assume about hypnosis that just simply is not true. Rochelle?
So it is not mind control. We cannot control your mind. We are not a stage show that makes you do weird things, because half the people that are on the stage are doing them just because they are. Some are somnambulists. That's another conversation. So they'll do something, but pretty much it is a stage show. Let's just put it that way. It's not like when you see on television a psychiatrist. I remember my husband and I watching this movie, told this person he was hypnotizing to go commit crimes. Insanity. Insanity should be, it's illegal. I'm sure it would be. I don't know, but that's like insane. You are in control of your mind, and everybody here, I'm sure, is ethical, and you wouldn't go commit these crimes. We can't tell you to go do something that you don't want to do. And why would we do that? So, no, 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 that isn't true. It's just absolutely not true. You are in control. And if you want, just open your eyes and you won't even be relaxed that like you are when you're really into the hypnotherapy session. So no, we do what you're asking us to do, right? You can get stuck in it. You know, I've only had done this a long time. I've heard it a couple times where people say they're afraid they'll get stuck in it. And that's coming from the TV shows that people, I forgot the name of that movie where she had the teacup that she was stirring. That was a good one, actually. But it's not true. You can't get stuck in it because you're not going to be in a permanent hypnotic state. It's just not going to happen. So you are not going to get stuck in it. Open your eyes. And even if when you're in hypnotherapy, you're still in control of your mind and you cannot get stuck in it. It's only for weak-minded people. Absolutely not. I say this every time. I'm one of the strongest minds of anyone you'll ever meet. And I'm also a human, so I will still have stuff that comes up, but I know where to get help. Halai has a very strong mind. We're hypnotized. It doesn't mean, I'll speak for myself, that when I'm being hypnotized, I might not think, oh, did I let the dog out? Did I blow up the candle? Is a stove on? I don't know, whatever I would think. I'm more of, I wonder why they use that modality. That's quite interesting, right? 'Cause I'm interested. I'm completely hypnotized because the next minute I'm just feeling very, very relaxed. Very, very relaxed. Right. So it's not for weak minded people. That's ridiculous. And if you don't have a really, really strong mind, you probably do. You just don't know how to use it. You're not weak minded. Everybody's different. You completely forget what happened. That's another one. You don't really forget what happens. If you fall asleep, you didn't hear it, but the subconscious mind never sleeps, so it still works. And I had people that listen to the recording over and over again because by their time they're done, they get 12 recordings. Um, and they may hear something differently each time. And it's not because they forgot it, it's just because they were so relaxed that their subconscious was taking in the information and their conscious mind was just able to relax. Right? And that's a
Mm-hmm.
very nice thing. So you're not going to completely forget what happened. That goes into the all the hogwash that you see on television and stage shows. Not true. It's just a heightened state of awareness. You're
Yeah.
not in some you're not a zombie. You're not any of these weird things people tell you. You know what's going on. You're in control. It's a heightened state of awareness. And what's weird is you kind of think, how can this work when you're doing it? Although you're very relaxed. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is working. This is really cool, and it becomes your go-to. It's the first thing you do. You have a habit you don't like. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go joy minding. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love that. No, this is all very accurate of my own experience with hypnosis as well. Like
Mm.
one time I'll listen to it and I find one piece of it so interesting, I grasp on, and then I'll listen to it again a few days later, and I didn't even hear this part. I don't remember this part of it because I was so relaxed by this stage. So your mind goes in and out throughout the session, and each time you actually get somewhat of a different experience. But when you work with Joymind, you're working with the largest one-on-one virtual network of hypnotherapy. What that means is that we have close to 50 certified hypnotherapists who are deeply vetted. I personally interview hundreds of people before they are even qualified to work with Joymind. So there's a lot out there. There really is a lot of people out there who can claim to be doing this work. But what we're looking for is those who are genuinely experienced, who've delivered results. That is so huge. We want people who actually have real results, not here to just practice hypnotherapy for fun, or say that they can do it when they really don't have the background knowledge. And there's a reason why we have really high success rates. So the average hypnotist and a Joymind hypnotherapist are not the same. So Rochelle is actually part of this program, the oldest and largest college of hypnotherapy. That's the only place that we hire from. And it was established in 1968. So this is essentially where Rochelle herself also practiced. And everybody that comes to our program is brought on and mentored by Rochelle, because we just have a really strong faith in this exact program. So if you want to talk a little bit about kind of that differentiation and what this really means when you choose a certified hypnotherapist.
So it's not where you go to school for 2 days or 2 weeks. None of that matters. That's just, you're not going to be, you don't know what you're doing. The first year is 720 hours plus, because then you have to do all your certification classes. And we look for that, by the way. And then after that, you go for year 2 and learn about how the mind even works at a deeper level and how to practice even more modalities around specific challenges. And you also have a mentor, and you have to do this internship. So people are that your mentor is well aware of what you are doing. Right. And you have to like explain it and what were the results, and you have to track it with statistics and things like that. And when you really study like this, you learn specific modalities. And they are modalities that we know work. Well, Dr. Kappas will tell you they work. They're based on his studies. And what he's really known for is how do you take in information? Because the way you take in information is going to be very different than somebody else, right? So the big thing is that when you first meet your hypnotherapist, we're looking for, how is this person taking in information? Are they introverts, extroverts, direct, suggestive? What are they? Are they snubblers? Like what is going on here? And then they're able, when they hypnotize you, to target who you are. If you were to tell me that you don't like the ocean, why, when I hypnotize you, would I take you to the ocean to relax? I wouldn't do that. If you're an analytical, let's say you're not like some of my actors and things like that. They're very visual and creative and they can just see anything. But if you're someone that can't think that way, then why would I hypnotize you in the same way? And that is why a lot of times people will go to a hypnotherapist and said it doesn't work, or the YouTubes don't work. It's because those people didn't learn what Dr. Kappas has learned. And by the way, Dr. Kappas put hypnotherapy on the map. And I don't think there's another school out there that offers 2 years. So you're in very, very good hands. You're in very good hands.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we are just about to get started with some hypnosis. So like I mentioned earlier, this is a group session. So it's not personalized to your mind, your struggles, your brain's inner language. This is a place to relax and receive. So if you can recline back in a chair, that's ideal. If you are on your bed, maybe prop up a little bit so you're not in sleep mode. Headphones definitely will help. It'll give you more of that immersive experience. Obviously, you're not driving. If you're taking part in this, maybe you can pull over. A lot of people do their sessions in the car. I know the car is a safe space for some of us drivers. I'm in New York, so I can't relate to that. But as you're laying down, the most important thing, Rochelle's going to guide you with her voice. And your only job is to give yourself permission to relax. So whether you are in the middle of your workday or winding down, can you give yourself these 10 minutes to receive? You don't have to do anything to do a good job at this. Your only job is to relax. All right, let's begin.
All right. So everybody go ahead and close your eyes. Not while you're driving, of course. And deep letting go breath, and close your eyes. Close your eyes and take in a deep letting go breath. And by doing that, you're just saying, it's time. I get to rest and allow myself just to sink deeply, calmly and soundly into the surface beneath you. Now I'm going to count from 1 to 10, and on each and every count, you may notice from 1 to 10 and 10 to 1 that you feel even more calm and more relaxed, and you may, I wonder, notice that you feel even heavier. Starting from 1, you can feel the room around you, 2, the surface beneath you, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, going back down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Letting go and releasing and letting go, sinking deeply, calmly and soundly into the surface beneath you, just letting go. Just letting go. You know, it's a nice thing to let go. Allow the light to travel over your forehead and over your eyes. While your eyes are closed, look down. There's nothing to see, there's nothing to do. Just relax. You know, it's very good to relax. It's good for your health. And it's nice to stop all the nonsense that your thoughts seem to think are important to think. So just go ahead and just listen to my voice. Allow the light to travel over your face, your jaw relaxes, your teeth separate. The more your jaw relaxes, the more your teeth separate. The more your teeth separate, the more your jaw relaxes. Just letting go. Allow the light to travel over your mouth, and when you choose, silence is golden. Because when you're silent, the chatter stops. And when the chatter stops, you can hear your authentic self, who knows what it knows, what it knows, what it knows, guide you to where you want to go. You're safe and secure and secure and safe, letting go and releasing and letting go, understanding that everything is fine. Everything is fine. Allow that beautiful golden light to travel down through your throat, maybe the feeling the need to swallow, and hover over your shoulders. And this is where we hold on to the weight of the world. We hold on to the weight of the world. So go ahead and let that go, please, into the chair and onto the floor. Anything you're upset with, let it go into the chair and onto the floor. Releasing and letting go and releasing. Into the chair and onto the floor, releasing and letting go and releasing. Into the chair and onto the floor, releasing and letting go and releasing. You don't have to hold on to it anymore. You just don't need to. So go ahead and let it go, and I want you to notice your shoulders, they drop. Calm and relaxed and calm, letting go and releasing and letting go. Maybe even just watching your breath. Allow the light to travel down through your arms and hands and fingertips. Maybe noticing one hand and arm is heavier than the other. So very, very, very heavy. You don't even want to lift it up. Why? You don't need to. Just let it go. Into the chair and onto the floor. Releasing and letting go and releasing. Maybe noticing that one hand is heavier than the other. So very, very, very heavy. You don't even have to lift it up. There's no reason to. In fact, if you'd like, you can gently turn your palms up and you can feel the sun in the palms of your hand. You can even put one or both on your heart and take in another big, deep, letting go breath and feel the light in your heart. Allow the light to hover over your heart, and this is where you know what you know, what you know, what you know. You are worthy, you are deserving. You belong. You're no longer anxious, you're calm and relaxed and calm. You don't have to be anxious. And I know your subconscious mind is listening, because if it is, you just continue to breathe. And it's interesting because the next time you see the sun, it'll be brighter than it was today. You're going to notice it. Allow that beautiful golden light to hover down through your legs, your thighs, your knees, your shins, and allow it to puddle around your feet, lighting the path before you, knowing that you are certainly on the right path. And you can feel the warmth and the glory and the grace in your feet, being very grounded to the here and now. Very grounded to the here and now. All we have is the here and now. The past is the past. There's no point in thinking about it. And the future, who knows? But we do have the here and now, and right now it is a glorious here and now. What I'd like you to do is I want you to walk down this path. See what you see, hear what you hear, notice what you notice. And I want you to stand up tall, throw your shoulders back, facing the sun. Knowing your shadows have fallen behind you and that they have become illuminated by the light, and they are your fuel to thrive. The light is there. Or we say it's the end of the tunnel, and if you can't see it, trust it's there. You can pull back the curtains and see the light there too, or in a lamp or in a candle. Promise of hope. Everything's good. You are kind, you are worthy, you are deserving, you belong, and it is now your turn to experience ultimate peace. Peace is priceless. And you deserve to feel that. You deserve to feel that. Now I'm going to count from 0 to 5. And when I get to 5, your eyes be wide awake and you remember everything I've said. Starting from 1, you can feel the room around you. 2, the surface beneath you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes wide awake.
All right, welcome back. So as you're getting adjusted back onto the screen, I'm about to give you a handout that you can take home with you. But I want to see if we can just write a one word or even a few words that feel true right now. Without thinking too much, what is a word that's just kind of pulsing out of you or just feels very alive right now? If it's a sense of calm, peace, exhale. There's a lot of power in claiming what we are, what we're feeling, and what we're walking away with. Empowered, I love that. Light, yes. Good. Yeah, and so I'm going to include this handout right now. So this is going to give you a breakdown of what exactly you are struggling with. So the 6 silent stressors that are running your life. So like Rochelle said, we adults become what we learn as children. And so there's these habits, these belief systems that you were taught by your parents, your older siblings, the bully, the teachers in your upbringing that made you feel that you either are unsafe, not good enough, not strong enough, and that has now affected your adult life. So see if you can find where you are in all of this. See if you can find out what is your subconscious stuckness. And as you're all doing that, I'm actually going to welcome one of our Joymind program experts here just now. So switch out. We have Lisa here, who has done hypnotherapy herself and is also a Joymind hypnotherapy program expert. So she's actually somebody that you would be speaking with directly if you do decide to book that consultation. So I'll let Lisa share a little bit more about her background and what the next step looks like.
Thank you, Halai. Thank you so much, Rochelle. I'm still quite relaxed from that.
Good.
Love me some hypnotherapy. You know, I don't know what everyone on this call is personally going through, but we've all had our thing. You know, we all have our baggage. And mine personally that brought me to hypnotherapy was that I had 20 years of undiagnosed Lyme disease. And so I was basically in the disease dressing room for many, many years. And with Lyme disease diagnosis, it mimics many other diseases. So I was diagnosed with a plethora of different things, very, very painful things that caused me to have chronic pain, sleep deprivation, anxiety, depression. And I wasn't able to work as a result of the 20 years of going through Lyme disease without a real definitive diagnosis. I lost everything. I lost my career. I lost my home. I got a divorce. I even lost my car. I lost everything. And for years I couldn't work because the pain was so bad and the headaches. I had suicide headaches, cluster headaches. They were so bad. And I finally got diagnosed and the pain diminished, but I had PTSD over it. And I still had sleep issues. And so it was like, here I've been diagnosed and now I don't have Lyme disease anymore. What next? Well, I was able to get jobs, but I wasn't able to hold them down because of all the grief that I was still going through. But thank God I was able to get a job with Joymind, and that exposed me to hypnotherapy. And I always tell myself I'm not going to cry when I say this, but it always gets me because it's just was so transformational for me. I still had such guilt and shame and fear over the mess that I had been through that I wasn't able to keep going on. And hypnotherapy, it changed everything for me. I was able to get past the guilt and the shame of things that I couldn't change. I couldn't change the past. But hypnotherapy helped me change my perception of the past because it was all what was just stuck in my mind. And now I've been with Joymind for over a year. I have a home. I have a new relationship. I even have a car. And I just think differently about myself. My whole mindset is different. And, you know, I always thought that there had to be a reason that I was going through all that pain, that there had to be something that came out of it. That one gets me too. Yeah. Now I'm a program expert in a wonderful career where I get to help others. Because, you know, your story might be really different than mine, but it's all in the mind. It's all in our mindset. And so now I get to get on calls with people just like you that have their own story. And I get to help them discover how hypnotherapy can turn everything around. And so I get to spend time with you. I get to listen to your story. And then I get to help you determine a program. And I'm real frugal, so I'm always thinking about what's going to be the best price range for you and everything to help you get the help that you really, really need. So I could go on and on. I'll stop. I'm just looking forward to meeting any of you on the call today that just need somebody to talk to and find a solution to help you get through it. And with every ounce of energy in me, I know that this can be as powerful for you as it was for me. So thank you, Halai, for letting me get on and speak about that.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. I love having
you.
you here. Yeah, and I put her booking link. So that link that you see on your screen, that is directly for Lisa's calendar. Even if you actually already booked a consultation and you want to speak with Lisa, you're like, I think I can see myself in her. Just send a message. Say, hey, I heard Lisa speak today. I would love to talk with her directly, if that would make you most comfortable. But thank you so much for being here, Lisa. It's so good to have you. She's the person on the other end of the phone, a normal human, just like the rest of us, and
Yes.
really good at what she does. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we will begin to wrap up here, and I'm going to put this on the screen again. As soon as you book your consult, whether it's with Lisa or even if you booked it earlier, you will automatically get access to 15% off. The code Rochelle 15 off any program that you decide on just for being a part of this. That's it. Nobody else gets access to this. We want to give you that little bit of relief if you're taking this step for yourself. Any last bit, Rochelle, before we step out? I know you have a session in a few minutes, so I'll leave this open.
Belief at its experience. So when you change your perception at the subconscious level, then your life changes and you're happy. And yes, we do have practitioners that integrate scripture into the hypnotherapy. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you got to change the way you think. And I hate to say this, but unless you work with the subconscious mind, it'll even take a very, 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 very long time to do it, or it won't happen. So I just don't know why anyone would want to continue suffering if they have a chance not to. And Lisa's story is a good one. Good one. But it was very nice for all of you to come too. That was very kind. So thank you.
Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your week. You did something amazing for yourself this Monday. Thank you, Rochelle. And again, that link is there to book specifically with Lisa. I highly recommend you take this one half step. There's no commitment. There's no signing. There's no requirement to continue, but you might get a lot of relief. You might get some answers and just this sense of hope that you are not stuck where you are. You signed up for this because you know something needs to change. So just take one more action step for yourself. Today was a really big one, showing up today. So continue to do that for yourself, and hopefully we can support you. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.